The air in our apartment used to smell of morning coffee and Ben's faint aftershave, a comforting blend that spoke of permanence and peace. We had built a life together, stone by careful stone, since our college days, a shared dream of stability wrapped in the warmth of quiet affection. Ben was my rock, my steady compass, my predictable sunrise. We had our routines, our inside jokes, our comfortable silences. For years, that was enough, more than enough. It was everything I thought I wanted. But slowly, imperceptibly, at first, a subtle shift began. The quiet affection started to feel like a gentle hum rather than a vibrant song. The predictability became a dull ache, a longing for something I couldn't quite name, something more potent, more electrifying. I saw Ben every day, his kind eyes, his easy smile. But sometimes it felt as though he was looking through me, not at me. My thoughts, my small victories, my unspoken anxieties. They seemed to float unheard in the space between us. I convinced myself it was just a phase, a natural ebb, in the long tide of a relationship. I tried to rekindle the spark, to initiate conversations, to plan spontaneous evenings, but the efforts often felt unilateral, leaving me feeling lonelier than before. Then Mark walked into my professional life, a new colleague in our department. He wasn't overtly charming in a showy way, but his presence was like a sudden jolt of electricity. He had an intensity, a way of looking at you that made you feel utterly seen, utterly heard. He asked questions that weren't just polite inquiries, but genuine invitations into deeper thought. He laughed at my jokes with a genuine booming sound that echoed my own amusement. His eyes crinkled at the corners when he smiled, and a small scar above his left eyebrow gave him a rugged edge. Our initial interactions were innocent enough, shared project discussions, coffee breaks that stretched a little longer than necessary. He remembered small details about my day, my preferences for tea, my obscure literary references. He seemed fascinated by my opinions, genuinely curious about my perspective on everything from office politics to the meaning of life. Ben had always been supportive of my career, my intellect, but Mark made me feel brilliant, witty, captivating. It was an intoxicating sensation, one I hadn't realized I was missing until it was offered. The professional boundaries slowly blurred. A quick text about a work document turned into a late-night conversation about our childhood dreams. A lunch meeting extended into an hour of sharing personal anecdotes. He spoke of his own past with a raw honesty that disarmed me, his vulnerabilities a mirror to my own unspoken ones. He made me feel alive in a way I hadn't felt in years, maybe ever. The guilt was a constant companion, a small nagging voice at the back of my mind, but it was easily drowned out by the exhilarating rush of his attention. I began to crave his messages, his presence, his laugh. My phone became an extension of myself, a secret keeper always within reach. The first time we crossed the line, it was almost accidental. A late work night, an empty office, a shared sense of exhaustion and exhilaration after completing a complex project. He looked at me with an intensity that sent shivers down my spine, his gaze holding mine until the air between us felt thick with unspoken desire. He reached out and gently touched my face, his thumb tracing the line of my jaw. My breath hitched. In that moment, all thoughts of Ben, of home, of my vows evaporated. There was only Mark, his warmth, his scent, the magnetic pull that promised something new, something dangerous. Our lips met tentative at first, then urgent, desperate. The kiss was a revelation, a whirlwind of forbidden pleasure, and immediate, crushing guilt. My body responded without question, without hesitation, betraying years of loyalty in a single breathless moment. As his arms wrapped around me, a wave of shame washed over me, cold and sickening. But then he deepened the kiss, and the shame receded, replaced by a thrilling, terrifying sense of liberation. I was a different person in his arms, adventurous, desired, unbound. I was a terrible person, but in that moment I didn't care. The double life began, a meticulously crafted performance of normalcy at home and passionate secrecy elsewhere. Every morning I would wake up beside Ben, his arm often draped protectively over me, and a knot of dread would tighten in my stomach. I would smile, I would kiss him, I would make his coffee, playing the part of the devoted wife. But my mind was already elsewhere, replaying Mark's last text, anticipating our next stolen moment. The lies started small, easy to tell. Late nights at the office, an unexpected meeting, a sudden girls' night out. Each lie built upon the last, creating a fragile, elaborate structure that threatened to collapse at any moment. I became an expert at compartmentalizing my life, my emotions. With Ben, I was calm, measured, composed. With Mark, I was reckless, vibrant, uninhibited. The contrast was stark and unsettling. Sometimes I would catch myself in the mirror and not recognize the woman staring back. Her eyes held a flicker of deceit, a shadow of guilt that I quickly tried to erase. The thrill of the forbidden was intoxicating, a potent drug that masked the underlying erosion of my integrity. I justified my actions to myself 1,000 times. Ben was distant, I reasoned. I deserved to feel desired. It was just a phase, it wouldn't last. These were hollow excuses, weak foundations for a destructive path. The constant fear of discovery was a heavy cloak I wore everywhere. Every unfamiliar car in the driveway, every unexpected call from Ben, every time my phone buzzed, I would jump. My heart pounded whenever Ben would casually ask about my day, about my colleagues. I scrutinized his face for any hint of suspicion, any sign that he knew. He was so trusting, so good, so utterly undeserving of my betrayal. That knowledge was a bitter pill, a constant reminder of the depth of my deception. Ben slowly began to notice the shifts. Small things at first. My increased attachment to my phone, my vague answers to his questions, my growing emotional distance. He tried to bridge the gap, he truly did. He would suggest date nights, plan weekend getaways, try to engage me in conversation about our future. But I was preoccupied, my mind elsewhere, consumed by the intoxicating pull of my secret life. I pushed him away sometimes, subtly sometimes, with an almost cruel indifference. He looked hurt, confused, his usually bright eyes clouded with a growing sadness. I saw his pain, and still I couldn't stop. The grip of my deception was too strong, the allure of Mark too powerful. The unraveling was inevitable, a cruel twist of fate, or perhaps a just consequence. It happened one Tuesday evening. I had forgotten my phone at work, a rare oversight. Ben, being Ben, ever thoughtful, had gone back to retrieve it for me after I frantically called him from the landline. I was showering when he returned, already planning my apology for his inconvenience. I heard him enter the apartment, then silence. A different kind of silence. The kind that precedes a storm. When I stepped out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel, he was standing in the living room, phone in hand, his face pale, rigid. The screen was still lit, displaying a text message from Mark, a playful, intimate message that left no room for doubt. It was a single sentence, but it shattered our world more effectively than any spoken confession. His eyes met mine, and they were filled with a raw agony, a profound hurt that pierced me to the core. The air left my lungs. The carefully constructed facade of my life crumbled in an instant, leaving behind only ruin.
"Clara, what is this?" His voice was barely a whisper, but it echoed like a thunderclap in the sudden stillness of the apartment. There was no anger in his tone, just a heartbreaking disbelief. I tried to speak, but no words came out. My throat was tight, my tongue dry. The guilt that had been a dull throb for so long now exploded into a searing inferno, consuming me entirely. I saw the love in his eyes turn into something else, something broken, something irreparable. The pain I had inflicted was laid bare before me, a gaping wound that I had created. The ensuing days, weeks, months, were a blur of tears, accusations, shattered explanations, and an overwhelming sense of loss. Ben's pain was a constant presence, a testament to the trust I had annihilated. He asked why, a question I couldn't truly answer, a question that haunted my sleepless nights. Was it boredom? Was it insecurity? Was it a desperate craving for novelty? All of them. None of them. I had chosen a fleeting thrill over enduring love, a destructive fantasy over a beautiful reality. Mark faded away as quickly as he appeared, a fleeting figure in the wreckage of my life. He offered hollow apologies, platitudes about complicated situations, but his words held no comfort, no genuine remorse. He was merely a catalyst, a mirror reflecting my own weaknesses, my own desires for a life I hadn't built. He was never the solution, only a symptom of my own discontent. The apartment, once filled with the scent of coffee and aftershave, now reeked of regret and unspoken grief. Ben eventually moved out, taking with him not just his belongings, but a piece of my soul. His absence left an unbearable void, a constant reminder of what I had so carelessly thrown away. I was alone with my choices, with the devastating consequences of my betrayal. The reflection that followed was brutal, honest, unflinching. I had mistaken fleeting excitement for genuine connection. I had chased a phantom while neglecting the tangible, beautiful love right in front of me. I realized that my dissatisfaction hadn't been with Ben, but with myself. My failure to communicate my needs, my fears, my longing for validation had led me down a path of destruction. I had not been honest with him, but more importantly, I had not been honest with myself. Trust, once broken, is incredibly difficult to mend, perhaps impossible in some cases. I learned that the hard way. I learned that love requires more than just affection. It requires consistent effort, open communication, and unwavering respect. It demands courage to confront problems within the relationship, within oneself, rather than seeking escape in another person's arms. I had been a coward, a fool, driven by a selfish desire for immediate gratification. Now I live with the weight of my choices, a constant reminder of the irreversible damage I caused. The memory of Ben's heartbroken eyes is etched into my mind, a permanent tattoo of my shame. There is no easy path to forgiveness, no quick fix for the wounds I inflicted. All I can do is carry the burden, learn from the painful lessons, and strive to be a person worthy of the love I once had, a person capable of true honesty and unwavering commitment. The journey to rebuild myself, to understand what truly matters, is long and arduous. It is a lonely path paved with regret, but it is also a path toward a truer, more authentic self, one that hopefully will never again succumb to the destructive allure of betrayal. The echo of what was lost resonates eternally, a solemn melody of a love squandered.